If you need any Xbox or PlayStation codes or anything gaming related, check the referral links down in the description. They'll take you to g2a.com. They already have a discount on most of their goods already, and with the code CHES at checkout, you can get yourself an extra 3% off as well.
Hey guys, how's it going? Chez back again, and welcome to episode number 45 of the Inter Milan career mode here on FIFA 15. On Thursday and Friday last week, in the comment section, you guys were throwing me loads of suggestions for potential signings. We are trying to get in a centre mid, but it doesn't look like we're going to have the financial power that we need to bring in a player of sufficient quality in that position. So I've taken on a lot of your suggestions for potential centre backs. We're looking at Pedro Franco, Jason Murillo, who led to believe by some of the comments is actually heavily linked with Inter in real life, if not has already signed some sort of pre-contract deal. We're also looking at Terence Congolo, Chancel Mbemba and Sheku Kouyaté as well, who could actually fill the role at CDM as well as at centre-back. So I'm not sure which is my preferred player just yet. I've got my scouts out looking at them right now, trying to give me at least a half-detailed report on what their stats actually look like, so I know the sort of player that I'm going after, or at least have some sort of guidelines to go by when it comes to actually selecting one or other of them for that new centre-back spot. I'm going to offer Udinese every single last penny that I have to try and get them to accept an offer for Pereira, but unfortunately, spoilers a little bit, they're not going to accept it. They want 20 million plus, so you can see from the top. Udinese have indicated they want 21 million for this player, but you could try less. That's 21 million plus Carrizzo that they said they were interested in the player, but the money wasn't enough. I can't get close to 21 million. We just don't have the funds, so we're going to have to change our area of focus and head towards bringing in a centre back. So I've taken on 4 or 5 of your suggestions from the previous comment sections, and like I say, got my scouts out right now, looking at them to try and narrow down at least some sort of guidelines for their overall stats, so I can, you know, have at least some sort of idea of what to go on when selecting one or more of the players. So we'll jump into this first game against Genoa, and then we'll tackle the potential transfer stuff a little bit later on. But the league situation right now is very strange. Sassuolo sit 5 points ahead of us, and so do Juventus. But Sassuolo have played a game more than us, so should we win here, we could close within 2 points of them. And Juventus sit 5 points clear of us, having played the same amount of games of us. So if we win here and they win, then we'll still remain 5 points off the top of the table, but at least we'll be closer to the side that are second. And of course, like we unfortunately found out last year, only the top 3 teams in Serie A qualify for the Champions League. So we need to get ourselves further inside the, further away from the sides in 4th and 5th, and closer to those at the top of the table, but we're not going to do that if Bernd Leno concedes goals in that manner. That wasn't a very well struck shot, it wasn't necessarily a very well placed shot either, but it somehow managed to find its way into the back of the net. A really poor attempted save from the goalkeeper that really quite frustrated me, to be completely honest. So we'll try and get ourselves back in it almost immediately, literally just 2 minutes after they went 1-0 up, and the ball is on its way over the line before the defender gets back to it to clear it away. We couldn't quite create something from the rebound either. I was so disappointed that Mauro Icardi hadn't been able to immediately get us back on level terms there. Really good defending, really good alert defending for them to be able to get the ball off the line, but they weren't able to clear it that time. Safir Taider arriving late, and he's already picked up a booking, so I'd have to be careful to make sure I didn't go down to 10 men early on in the game, but we were able to get it back to 2-1. To 1-1, sorry, and then Taider with the shot there, almost making it 2-1, but unfortunately the goalkeeper makes a good save, and then again, good alert defending as Antonini clears it away as the goalkeeper spills it before Gokkantori can get there to make it 2-1 in our favour. But they're going to have a chance here in the second half. Still in the first half, sorry, 5 minutes before half-time. Fatsidis gets around the outside of the defender, and again, I'm really annoyed at my goalkeeper for letting that in at his near post. It's something that's really begun to frustrate me with Bernd Leno, but I'm not sure whether there's something else afoot, and I'll mention it a little bit later on in the episode with regards to the actual gameplay itself. But as you can see, we are now 2-1 down, trying to get ourselves back level, and we do just that. 64 minutes in, Moussa Sissoko this time. The midfielders seem to be coming from deep in this episode, or in this game but in particular, and just arriving at the right time to get a cheeky through ball and arrive to smash it into the back of the net to get us some goals. When it's 2-2, and with 5 minutes from time now, Mauro Icardi over to to Gökhan Torre, arriving late again in space on the far side to make it 3-2, and we are eventually going to win the game here at home against Genoa. More difficult than I expected it to be, that game, but not helped by the fact that the goalkeeper was pretty disappointing with both of their goals. Now, unfortunately, there was literally just 2 days between the game against Genoa and this game against Parma, so we couldn't get any more transfer dealings done in that time. So, unfortunately, we have to wait until the end of the episode to try and get some transfer stuff done. But at home against Parma now, as you can see, Juve were able to win their games. We still remain 5 points behind them, but we have close to within 2 of Sassuolo in second. So, starting not a full-strength side here, as you can see, Dybala and Sal up top with Charlotto in the camera, with Freddy Guarin and Brozovic in midfield with Damian and Cavander out wide. Still, though, with Bernd Leno in between the sticks, and Parma are obviously going to be a little bit of a tough test for us, or a difficult test. Obviously, last time we played them, the pace of Jonathan Biabiani was very much a thorn in my side. So we're playing still with their 4-3-3 formation, so still quite adventurous, although that flat 3 in midfield could prove to be their undoing a little bit later on. But again, similar with the first game, they're going to have, or the opposition are going to have, the first chance, and they come off the bar there with a header from Biabiani. He doesn't need to use his pace to win a header, and fortunately for me, it was just off target, coming back off the woodwork, and we live to fight another day. And then into the second half we went before the next chance was going to come. Great feat from Marco Sal, and I thought he was just going to squeeze it into the bottom corner, but the accuracy with the shot was really disappointing. Couldn't quite find the bottom corner, and actually it trickled wide. So they came forward a couple of minutes later. Here's Munari into Musachi, back to Munari, and the shot is very well saved by Bernd Leno, perhaps starting to redeem himself for the mistakes made in the first game, despite the fact we were still able to come away with the victory. And Musachi's involved again here into Belfodil at the near post again. Bernd Leno beaten, really frustrated. But then between recording this and or recording the gameplay and recording the commentary, I streamed a couple of times with FIFA 15 and career mode over the weekend, and it seems to be a recurring theme that keepers a lot more often than they used to are getting beaten at their near post. I had it with Hugo Lloris 3 or 4 times over the weekend while streaming FIFA, and you guys seem to confirm that idea on Twitter and in the chat of my streams, that goalkeepers seem to be conceding a lot more goals from the near post in the past week or so. So I don't know whether EA have actually altered with the gameplay at all. I'm really not sure. But we'll try and keep an eye on that. Perhaps I'll have to be... Because obviously, ordinarily, you'd want to push the player wide so that they had the shot at the near post, because you would have thought the goalkeeper would have saved it. But if they've altered the gameplay and they have to change my defensive style and try and force them into a position where they won't be able to shoot at the near post because it's going to start going in. But we are going to get ourselves 2-1 in front here, thanks to that brilliant header from Papadopoulos. It's his second header in this game so far, and after being 1-0 down, we brought it back to 1-1 with a header direct from a corner, and then the chance that came subsequent from a corner, and Papadopoulos again found himself on the end of it with his head to give us a 2-1 lead. Cavander breaks into the box here, could have gone down at any point, but stayed on his feet, drilled it to Charlotto, who then drilled it himself into the bottom corner, and we were able to come away with a 3-1 victory. So despite the goalkeeping errors from Bernd Leno, that may or may not be his fault. It might be the fact that he's just having some poor form, or EA have altered with the gameplay engine, and goalkeepers are now slightly more susceptible to conceding goals at their near post. It kind of felt more like FIFA 13, if you remember back to a couple of years ago, where the gameplay engine really was genuinely near post OP. That was the ongoing thing. And then last year it was kind of long shots and headers, and then this year it's just kind of been a mixture of everything that's felt a little bit overpowered at times. But most notably in the past couple of episodes here, and with my streaming of FIFA as well, the near post shots really do seem to be going in more often than not. Weirdly, Mauro Icardi's unhappy, and he says he feels like he's too big for the team. I'm not too sure what to make of that, to be completely honest. He's growing nicely, scoring the same sort of amount of goals as he did last year, and I'm not too sure whether I should sell him on or not. I'm thinking not to sell him on and keep him in the side and try and help us, achieve even more and actually win the league and perhaps win the Coppa Italia as well, to make him feel like there's still more left to achieve here at Inter, and that the team are definitely big enough to cope with his talents. But it's a bit egotistical, isn't it, to feel like he's too big for the club, especially a club the size of Inter Milan. Like, it's kind of hard to be too big for the club, especially a club that won a European trophy last year. But regardless, we will continue on, and as you can see, we are now level on points with Sassuolo. We won our game and they drew theirs, and Juve actually drew theirs as well. So we are now within touching distance of Juventus at the top of the table. We are within 3 points of them, although their goal difference is plus 10 superior to ours. So if we are going to get atop the table, we are going to need to score a lot of goals and beat Juventus later on in the season as well. But that will bring today's episode to a close. Thank you very much for watching. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed. I will have a closer look at some of those centre-backs for you over the next episode or two. Like I say, I'm waiting for my scouts to come back with some more detailed reports so that I can actually have even just a half look at some of their stats. Before we looked at them all earlier on, when you saw them in the shortlist, it just said, like, he's good at sprinting, he's good at acceleration, he's good at stand tackling. When I get, because obviously I don't think we'll get the full report back by the end of the window, because we're already halfway through the window and it takes like 24 days or something to scout a player, but at least we can get a guideline halfway through the window of what their rough stats are, thanks to the partial scout report. So we'll do that, and we'll look into signing someone in the next couple of episodes. But today, that's all for now. Thank you very much for watching. There'll be Career Mode Road to Glory later on tonight, and of course a stream this evening as well over on Twitch. So follow all my links in the description, to Twitch, to Twitter, to Instagram, to Facebook, to my second channel as well, if you haven't subscribed over there already. And I'll see you next time.